Welcome to the Social Dialogue Podcast. We're a mother-daughter team, both working in the world of social media management.
Join us as we share our different perspectives on life today, including trends, fashion, friendships, and career, and how social media impacts it all. Together, we bring two perspectives to one conversation.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Jenna.
And we're excited to bring you this new episode of the Social Dialogue Podcast.
Hi, Nana. Hi. Welcome back. You had fun in Las Vegas.
Yeah. A little too much fun. I think you can tell by my voice.
I can hear it in your voice. So this was a trip for seniors in college from like all over the country, right? Anybody can go.
Yeah, I saw friends from Northwestern, Wisconsin, TCU, USC, and like California. Everyone. I mean, it's split over 3 weekends. So, like FSU was last weekend, and so was like VA. But this weekend had a lot of the Big Ten schools, like Michigan was there, UPenn was there, and it was so much fun. But I'm definitely feeling the repercussions now.
Yeah. And you have a lot to do this week, I'm sure, as always.
Yes, it's also our homecoming week, so on top of everything else, it's also homecoming.
Are you paired with a fraternity for homecoming?
Yeah, so we have our Greek wedding on Tuesday. And I sold my ticket. So we have friends visiting from Penn State this weekend who went abroad with us. And so they are going out with us. And I sold my ticket.
Okay. All right.
How are you?
Good. I mean, I'm a little tired, but you know, we're filming this on the morning after you got back from Las Vegas and also the morning after the hostages were released. So we were both up till 3 o'clock in the morning. I honestly, I could have stayed up all night because, you know, they weren't, when I went to bed, we still hadn't seen them. So I saw it all this morning when I got up. But anyway, really excited to introduce you to our guest today because you've never met him, but you've heard about him for over a decade because we have been working together. Kenny Marcum is the owner of 301 Interactive Marketing. He helps businesses grow revenue, generate more qualified leads, and improve their bottom line using proven internet marketing strategies. With his team's decade plus of experience in digital marketing and web development, they deliver customized, data-driven solutions that translate into real business impact. Whether a company is looking to scale their lead generation or sharpen their online presence or turn marketing data into strategic advantage, Kenny and his team bring the tools, insights, and hands-on experience to make it happen. I think you're going to really enjoy this conversation because you actually know a ton more about what we're going to talk about, and we're really going to dig into AI today, and I know you had some topics that we added to our list that I don't even know what they mean. So I'm excited because this one's going to be probably more technical than our other conversations, but I'm excited that Kenny's here. Kenny, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. So Jenna, Kenny and I recently partnered with another colleague and taught a workshop. We've done it 3 or 4 times now for small business owners who are trying to up their marketing. So I deal with social, he deals with web and SEO, and Kim deals with PR. And so at our session last week, he was not all over the place. He was just like way above my head and all the AI stuff he was talking about and everything that's new. And I was like, we got to bring Kenny on the podcast because Jenna knows a ton about all of this. So I'm going to kind of start, Kenny, I'm going to open this up with a conversation about search because I know you and I, when we work with small businesses, when we're dealing with social, we're always trying to drive traffic. And then, you know, we always say, I throw the traffic and you catch it. And so we can look at the analytics that you share in our monthly meetings to see how we did. So I just kind of want to talk about like where we are coming from with search and then kind of where it's going with AI.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, this AI is definitely changing the way that we've done search for, the last decade plus. And as you know, on search, it's always been about what we call the blue links, right? So when you're on a Google search, you're doing that and you look for the blue links because that's what you click on to take you over to, the website that Google is showing you the result for. And that's changing because ChatGPT doesn't give you blue links. And so it's really changing from the blue links to what we're calling, intent or earned links. There are still some links in there for ChatGPT, but they're not as obvious. And even in Google's new, what they call AI mode, it's referencing, citations and content and not really giving you links to go out to. It's actually giving you that information there. So it's going to be a little more difficult going forward because we're not necessarily looking on Google Analytics traffic reports to see, hey, what is the source here? Where did the traffic come from? It's going to be a lot more about, the data that these AI engines are giving us in results. So it's going to be more about earned content, earned link.
Well, when you say they're pulling from all of these different things, these earned experiences, where are they pulling from? How do you earn that? How do you earn the right for ChatGPT to give your credibility, your link, your website? How do you earn that? So then when somebody's searching up, I want to wear a pair of shoes to, I don't know, a bar bat mitzvah, like, how do you earn that your shoe is the one that gets pulled up?
So what we're finding, and I'll kind of twist that a little bit to more of a contractor space, or a home services contractor space, because that's what we work in quite a bit, is they're not necessarily going to reference your website or even your Google reviews. They're going to reference like third-party citation sources. One of those sources that's out there now, it's called 3 Best Rated. So if you're looking up, hey, give me 3 painters to paint my house. I'm looking for the 3 best rated painters or the top rated painters near me, something like that. This 3 best rated website, ChatGPT is going to pull information from that site to show you those. Another one is expertise.com. They'll look at that website, which they're referencing as a citation, and then they'll show that in the results. So similar probably with your shoe example, they're probably going to look at, other websites that review shoes. And if there's shoes that are getting described as being the best to go to a bat mitzvah or whatever, that you're looking to go to, a prom or dance or this, that, and the other, then it's probably going to show those results in that ChatGPT query results versus what we've sort of always done is we've really always optimized our website first. We've tried to get Google reviews and we're relying upon Google search engine to crawl that and then put that on there. Now we're looking to try to optimize on other third-party sites.
So with Jenna and I both dealing in social, I'm dealing with small businesses. She is hoping next year when she's graduated to be in-house for a big brand, although she may end up in an agency. We don't know yet.
I'll take anything.
I know. But I guess my question is, from a social standpoint, how do we need to start rethinking how we share in social, what kinds of conversations we're having with potential consumers so that we're ending up in those ChatGPT or any of those other kinds of search mechanisms?
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's going to relate back to, trying to make sure that you're going to be on those platforms using those keywords. I told this to somebody the other day. I said, it's the difference between what we've always done for SEO for Google search and what now we're kind of talking about with this. It's called AEO or GEO for ChatGPT. Is the playbook is sort of the same. So it's about content, it's about getting onto these citations, backlinks on other websites. And it's about the keywords. So for social, it's going to be, again, working to figure out what the keywords are and then getting those keywords into your content on your channel, is it Facebook, is it Instagram, TikTok, whatever, which one that you're getting on, making sure that you are citing that information and you're referencing it back over to your website.
So the SEO person, the person in your position, really becomes critical because without your research, we don't know what those keywords are. We can guess, but if we're not looking at true analytics, we may not know.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need to make sure that you're doing that keyword research. You're working hand in hand with, your SEO, with your keywords to make sure that your target's going to be on point, and then that you're getting your brand mentioned on these other channels so that it's cross-linking to help improve that overall visibility, on a ChatGPT.
So Jenna, you had a question here that's way over my head. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So one way that chat, at first you just look things up on chat, how do I do this? How do I do that? Chat is now, I don't want to say above that, but it's progressed, and now people are starting to shop on ChatGPT. It's this thing I taught my mother. It's called agentic commerce, where you can, like Etsy and soon Shopify are going to, you can connect your Etsy account and shop Etsy through ChatGPT. So if you say, like, Etsy does customized things. So I want a customized banner for my friend's birthday. You can look that up in chat and then purchase it through ChatGPT. Like, what is happening with that? Where do you think this is going? It's so new that, like, I don't even trust it right now. And I'm 21. So I trust a lot of more things than my mother does. So what do you think about this? Like, what do you think about this?
Well, I think the big idea here is that we're entering into what we're calling like shopping agents. So like you're training, Chat GPT to be quote an agent. That's the technical term they're calling this now is agent. And so, if you can train the agent, the AI agent to shop for you, then you can simplify your life. I mean, everything in AI is supposed to be about simplifying your. So if you think about it, I mean, Amazon's kind of already had this with like shopping lists. Even like if you shop at the grocery store, Kroger is the one around here, and you can do a shopping list at Kroger. And then you can just go into it and you can, yes, I want this order again, so to speak. So it's already kind of been around, but obviously ChatGPT is evolving this. So if you are, if you train it, because that's what you're trying to do is train the chat bot agent to go and shop for the latest pair of shoes or the latest pair of, for me, it's tennis shoes. I play tennis. So it's like, I want the latest tennis gear. It's going to go out and it's going to scrape all these tennis websites and it's going to put a list together. And if I give it authority, obviously I'm going to have to put my credit card information in. It's going to purchase that stuff for me, and then send it to me. It seems a little dangerous to me. I mean, it might be taking away sort of like the impulse shopping. I like to get on the sites and kind of, spend some time and kind of impulse shop. So I don't know if I would personally do that, but I mean, it seems like, it's starting to move that way. So we'll see.
I'm a full shopper too, but don't tell my mom that.
I'm unaware of where you got that from. Ha.
I got it from you. Ha ha ha.
Funny from that standpoint. I mean, here recently we've gone on some trips and we've actually used ChatGPT to create itineraries for us. Liam and I he had his fall break a week or so ago. We went to St. Louis. So I had ChatGPT put a 3-day itinerary for St. Louis for us, and it gave us a really, really good itinerary. It didn't buy us any tickets or anything to anything we had to go to. I still had to go and do that kind of stuff. But, I think in the future, maybe it could probably do that. It could probably put the itinerary together. And if I said, hey, go ahead and purchase tickets, it could probably go ahead and do that. So that could be a benefit. Again, a way to simplify our life.
Well, I do feel like it takes it to the next level. Like I'll ask it for some guidance on a strategy or something, and then it'll say, do you want me to, and it'll say like the next step. So some people say that people are using ChatGPT like Google, but I feel like it does take it to the next step. You just have to learn how to use it better than, like, there are still things like Google. I mean, there's still a reason for that mechanism, because sometimes I don't need a so in-depth long list of things. Now, the first time I really used chat the way I feel it's meant to be used, I was visiting Jenna in London and I had 2 suitcases. And they were both, little wheelie bags. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to do a lot of stairs, and I was taking the train to the airport. So I asked chat, I could have just gone in Apple Maps and it would have told me, go to this station, change here, whatever. But chat told me, I asked it for the ones with the least amount of steps. And so it gave me, you want to change at this station because you won't have any steps to climb. I feel like it's taking that intelligence to the next level. But here's my question. I feel like I use chat. Chat's sort of my go-to one, but I know that there's other ones out there. Do you think that chat is the best one, like for the types of things that normal consumers use? And Jenna, you may have an input on this as well. I'm just curious if ChatGPT is the one we should be using going forward.
Well, I mean, there's several that are out there right now. And ChatGPT is sort of like the Google of them all at this point. They're sort of pulling the market share in, but there are other specific ones that have like specific purpose. So one is called Claude, and it's more for like programming. So sort of these programming engineers that are out there, they're probably not using ChatGPT's engine. They're probably using the Claude engine to do what they're wanting to do. There's a couple others out there, as Grok is one, Perplexity is another one. And I think they're all sort of getting their own sort of foot in the door as to what they're doing specifically. And I think we might end up seeing, I mean, ChatGPT could be, the one solution for it all, or we might see that these could get segmented off to have like specific purposes. Like this one's for photos and videos, this one's for coding, this one's for reasoning, this one's for Bing. I think we're still a little too early in the game for that, but definitely OpenAI, which is what the parent company for ChatGPT is. I think that they're definitely the forefront leader right now.
Have you heard of any of these other ones? Like, when Kenny was saying these names, did you know any of them?
Yeah, I think, isn't Grok Elon Musk's? I've heard of that one. And because I've heard of some crazy things that it's said. And I heard of Perplexity, I think, in our workshop. One of our attendees mentioned it. Yeah. Do you use any of the other ones, Jenna?
I've used Gemini a little bit. They have like a free year-long student membership. So I got that because I like free things. I've used Claude a little bit, but I also have ChatGPT Pro. So that's what I use. I also have used like Snapchat AI sometimes, but that's very rare. Most of the time I use chat. I just like the way it works and it knows me really well now. So yeah, but I don't know, I don't use it really for school. I more use it for like other aspects of my life because you don't want to get caught cheating. And also you still have to have integrity because you still have to own the work that you do. So I don't like to really use it for school that much. I just don't think it's the easy way out because teachers are catching on. They've been catching on. There's so many obvious ways that you can tell someone is using chat. Your language is a huge one. Like chat uses certain words that I would never say in my vocabulary. I use an M dash from time to time, but it's very rare. Chat uses M dashes all the time. I've literally had to tell chat to stop using M dashes and save it to the memory. And also they use it's not blank, it's not X, it's Y formula. I've had to tell my chat to get rid of that formula. So it's very obvious sometimes when you're using chat for school specifically, but for when you're just searching up things or when you're using it to help make your life easier, I think it's an incredible tool. It's definitely made my life easier in a lot of different ways, but it's not human. You can't take out, you still need the human in there, especially for a college kid. So students, make sure if you're going to use chat, edit it heavily. Still not human.
Yeah, and we say that as well because, we do some blog writing and some LinkedIn article writing, and I do not have chat write those. Once in a while, I'll run a paragraph through chat just if I need it edited or I feel like I'm repeating a word too many times. I'll have it help me figure out a better way to say something. But that's not why our clients pay us. They pay us for our specialty and expertise in writing. So that's what we do. And then when we're working with a client that also works with Kenny, then we take the keywords that he's telling the client they're using and make sure those are threaded through into the social campaigns, the LinkedIn articles, and the blog posts, because all of that has to work together. One thing that we learned in the workshop, this was kind of cool. And Jenna, I have no idea if you've seen this yet, but Kenny was showing us, he's been working with this plumber for over a decade. It's like one of your oldest clients. And so he's, he knows everything on that website, like every single word, every single code, everything is on that website. And he showed us in the workshop what their website of the future is going to look like. Kenny, will you tell us a little bit about what that is? Because it sounds like that might be the trend that we're going sort of following in this AI landscape.
Yeah, so we've got this client, and for a long, long time, we've been helping them kind of develop their own internal, customer relation manager program. So there's a lot of ones that are out there that are pretty expensive. I'll just mention one called Service Titans, one that a lot of contractors will use. This client, they didn't want to use Service Titan because they didn't want to get stuck into using a software as a service forever. And so we have been working together to kind of build him this basically online, we call it an online price book of his services. And what we're eventually getting to, and AI has kind of helped us get there, is we're going to come to a day, hopefully here in the next month or so, to where when you go to this website, it's going to basically you're just going to ask. You're going to ask and it to diagnose your problem. So you can go into this and say, hey, I have no hot water. What should I do? And the engine that we're building behind this, which is built on ChatGPT's large language model, is to get to the point where it can diagnose the issue, give that person a price, and then let that person schedule it on the client's scheduler. And we think that could potentially be a way that these service contractors might work in the future, as to where you might just go to this website. It could be plumbing, could be painting, could be electrical, roofing, whatever. And you basically just ask it to diagnose, price, and schedule.
I wonder if it'll change in the industry. We were talking about shoes. Like, what if I went to the Stuart Weitzman website and said, I need a pair of 3-inch high black pumps to wear with a cocktail dress? Like, instead of me scrolling through all the pictures, maybe I type in what I'm looking for and then it serves up the options. I don't know. Part of the fun is scrolling through and letting the website tell me what I need to buy, but that might
Well, that's
change.
true. Yeah. I mean, and it probably already does some of this. So again, we think AI is here to help simplify. And so, if you go to a site for shoes right now, you can definitely do that, but you have to do it through the filtering, right? So you go to the website, you go to filters, put pumps, you put red shoes if you want red shoes, and then it will
Size 4.
size 4. It will filter your results. So I think it's there now. It's just a matter of the programmers programming it in to allow you just to go to that site, type in what you want, hit enter, and then it goes. Or, like, as we're seeing, it's more voice, right? So you just go to it on your mobile phone and say, I want this, and this, find, and then it voice searches, that information, and then shows you the results instantly.
This is fascinating. So one of the things you've been talking about recently, I know we have been with the small businesses pushing Google reviews for, over a decade. With AI and all of these platforms, I know you've said that they pull from other places, namely Bing, and that Bing, one of the places they're pulling from are Yelp reviews and Facebook reviews. So can you talk a little bit, because I don't think it's just for small businesses. I think it's going to affect large brands as well, about that whole review thing and what companies need to be paying attention to.
Yeah, in fact, I was just having lunch today with a painting contractor here in town, and he had been working for the last year to really bolster his Google reviews, and I think he's up to over 200 Google reviews now. And I said to him, I said, man, have you looked at Chat GPT yet, just to see what it's doing for you? And he said, a little bit. And so right there, I pulled it out and I said, show me the top painting contractors in area. And ChatGPT knows where I am. It knows my zip code, so it automatically pulls that up, and it gave me the top 5. He was not in the top 5. And he looked at him, and we're looking at it, and he goes, man, I have more Google reviews than all 5 of those people. And I said, yeah, but you know what? ChatGPT does not like Google. They're direct competitors. So you can't put all your eggs in one basket, or I guess you can't put all your stars in one basket and think that Google reviews is where you got to be at. You've got to be on other places. And he was like, well, where should I be at? And so we looked at them, and a couple of them were what I mentioned before, this 3 best rated, expertise.com, but a few of the other ones were Yelp reviews, and a few other ones were Facebook reviews. And we know that Bing actually pulls in Yelp and Facebook reviews because Bing doesn't have their own review system like Google has. So, my I guess suggestion to him, and really to anybody at this point, is to diversify where you're getting your reviews at. Still put some in Google for sure. But if you already have a lot in Google, more than your competitors, switch it over. Go to Facebook, go to Yelp, go to some other review sites and get them to put their reviews over there.
Can a company, like, let's say I send one of my clients a message and say, hey, you gave me this great Google review 3 years ago. Here's what it said. Can you then just ask them to go put it in Facebook? If it copies and pastes, it's the exact same thing. Is that a problem?
Yeah, you don't want to do that. I mean,
Okay.
you could ask them for a different review. I would not copy paste because they don't like, that identical duplicate content. But yeah, I mean, you could definitely have somebody put a review in 2 different places for sure.
Kind of like switching topics, looking towards the future. Like, what are the new trends, both in web design and social media, since we are a social media podcast? What's coming? What can we kind of expect on the horizon, especially for someone more my mom's age who takes her a little bit longer to start learning these tools?
Hey, let me tell you something. Terry, who works for Kenny, showed me how to update the website with the podcast, and the podcasts are all in there. Thank you very much. So there.
Yes,
And
but
everything's on YouTube too. And who launched the TikTok account this weekend and put up a video of you from 6th grade? That's right. That was me.
yeah, which you didn't tell me about. Okay, anyways.
Well, I think the future for AI, it's going to be what we call the UX, so the user experience. I think what we're going to find is we're going to ask a ChatGPT or these other platforms to analyze our website, give us what are the best UX experiences right now for the industry that you're looking up. And you're going to ask it to give you some examples of how to improve that. Based on, again, you should look at your analytics. So you should know whether or not your traffic comes in from a desktop user mostly or a mobile user mostly. And then you should optimize, that web experience and ask, these AI agents to optimize for that device, and give you, graphics, imagery, video, to help with that. I mean, we're already starting to see, its capabilities in this graphic design and video. So I think that's sort of the next edge in design, is having it help us look better. We personally here at 301, we haven't used any of those to actually code anything for us. We've explored it, but we still see some flaws in those designs as far as the code
There are
goes.
plenty of
But
flaws. Plenty. It's not perfect yet.
yeah, no, it's definitely not perfect. I mean, the big keyword that they're using right now in AI is hallucinations. And so we're starting to see, and you might hear more of this, where the AI is, quote, hallucinating. So it's giving you things that are not real. You're asking it to do something, or, hey, give me a video, give me a photo that shows this. And then it gives you something that's completely different. And so it's called hallucination. And so, yeah, there's definitely a lot of flaws still in it, but it's ever learning. So it's growing and it's changing. And I think over time, it's supposed to get better over time. So,
I think it will. I remember we were using it for a project we're working on a campaign for a brand, and we wanted it to generate like a large image of this, like a bottle for this brand, and have it spill. And it took me probably 10 times to get it to spell the words correctly, because it doesn't like to spell the words correctly. Because yes, it's copyright, but also it's just not ready yet. So it took us it took me multiple times to try to get chat to spell this brand correctly.
wild. Yeah, it was hallucinating.
So anything else that we need to be thinking about as well, for me, for my clients, and Jenna, as she's getting ready to graduate and she wants to be able to show that she's top of her class and ready for this next position, anything else you recommend that we should be utilizing when we're working on social campaigns for clients? Or, Jenna has an internship right now, so she also can take this back to them.
Yeah, I mean, from the holistic approach of the keywords, the search to the social, just making sure that you're staying in sync with all of those things. So not just relying on your tried and true stuff you do for social, but try to bring in some of this stuff from keywords and SEO into that social space, to help bolster the brand overall. Because again, we're going to find less and less, I think, of those clicks on the blue links. We're hearing less of the, top of page one, and, getting clicks to now what they're calling kind of the zero click. We need to get mentions. We need to get our brand mentioned in ChatGPT on these, queries that people are putting over on, AI. And to get that done, you're going to have to diversify your strategy and make sure that your website's up to date with good content, that it's, programmed correctly, that your social media strategy is getting mentions on not only your channels, but your, partner channels, and then you're getting these third party citations out there on other sites like the Expertise or Three Best Rated or other ones that are specific to your industry or to the client's industry, and feeding it all together.
Seems to me a really good collaboration with a PR team is going to become really important. I mean, not that it isn't now, it is, but it seems to me, if you've got editorial being placed by the PR team, well, now you've got places that are feeding your mentions, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So in PR, For sure. I mean, you've got to make sure that PR team knows the importance of getting that backlink in the article or the mention, of the brand over to the website so that it's all in sync. And then social then pulls in and mentions it, and then social gets other partners to mention it as well and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely going to be vitally important.
Well, Kenny, I want to say thank you so much. You took a lot of time out of your day, and I appreciate it. I always
welcome.
appreciate every time I sit down with you, and I always learn something. And I just appreciate your expertise. And it's always wonderful to collaborate with you on a client or a workshop or whatever we're doing. And now you
Definitely.
know Jenna. So there.
Yeah.
I do.
My mom
It
has
was
talked
good to meet
about
you,
you
Jenna.
a lot. She always raves about you. So I'm so glad we finally got to meet.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's good to meet you as well. Yeah. I'm glad you had a good time in Vegas.
She had a
I
great
had
time.
a really good time.
She very rarely doesn't have a really good time these days. So
There you go.
senior
Yeah.
year of college is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
All right. Well, thank
Cool.
you, Kenny, for being here.
Okay.
Thanks,
See you later.
Kenny.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was good. I think I forgot to ask him while he was on, but I should just mention for companies out there who need help with their marketing strategy, their digital marketing, their SEO, anything having to do with AI. Kenny is the person to reach out to at interactivemarketing.com, and his team is awesome. They did my website. They've done a ton of websites, and we have partnered together through the years. So a lot to learn. Do you have any fun social media trends that you are excited about?
I'm gonna be so honest, my entire For You page has been full of Vegas. So
Yeah.
the trend that I have been seeing again on my For You page has been Senior Year Vegas. Also, Herbstreit's dog, Peter,
Yes,
also on my For You page. So cute. That's
I
like
love him.
my For You page is dogs in Las Vegas right now. So don't think I have the best social media trend this week, but if you're going to Las Vegas, there are a lot of TikToks out there for you.
Peter is the best part of college football. So
Obviously, and Taylor.
yeah, Taylor's not college football, you Nimrod. Taylor's at the NFL. All right, so I've got, let's see, I looked up. So this one actually is not that funny, but it is an issue, and I'm going to bring it up today. Let me tell you about my social media parent Facebook group thing for today. It's actually not a funny one. This one is actually quite serious, but it is constant. There are constantly parents on the Facebook groups asking, does anyone know of a calc tutor? Does anyone have a tutor for statistics? Sometimes it gets so detailed, it'll be like, does anyone have a tutor for ENG 2185? So first of all, I don't know what classes you take. And even if I do,
You do know what class.
I know you take like a graphic design class, and you take like some kind of, right now you're taking a portfolio class, but like last semester, I don't know what you took in London. I have no idea. I know some of what your brother is taking, but not all of that. I think he's taking 4 classes.
Taking. Yeah.
But I don't know all of his classes. And like one time you took that music class that I referred to as the Taylor Swift class.
There was musical War and Peace, and then there was also makeup class.
Yeah, there was
math
the makeup,
decision beauty.
the math class. So at Indiana, if you are a future Hoosier, you should know almost everybody in that university has to take finite math. And parents will be all over the Facebook group asking for a tutor for finite math because I guess it's a really hard class.
It's really hard.
And it's mandatory for most majors. And our friend Susie will chime in anytime somebody says, can they take this at like the community college? And she's like, no, I had to take it in the 90s and your kid has to take it now.
Yeah.
She made
really her daughter take it at IU because she had to.
So, but your major got to take, what was the name of the math class?
Math of Decision and Beauty.
Right. So we called that makeup math. Math is not a strong suit, but you know, we have to use it. We have to know how to do it. Statistics are important.
I use chat for that sometimes, frankly.
I guess that's true. But it's important. And my friend Stephanie, who's going to be on the podcast in a few weeks, she would not approve of us not understanding math. So we do have to use math and have to understand things about math. Even if we don't know how to get to the answer, we have to understand the question enough to know what to ask. So anyway, when I was a junior in college, I got a paper postcard in the mail from the University of Florida that said, take another math class or we're sending you home. So I found a computer class that qualified for math, and that was it. So anyway, The purpose of my Facebook group comment here is if your child needs a tutor in any class, there are all kinds of resources on that college campus. And your guidance to your kid is not, let me go on the parent Facebook group and find a tutor for you. Your guidance and coaching should be, can you check with this office? Can you go see your TA and ask for
Ask
recommendations?
a friend.
If
Ask
you're in
a friend.
Ask a friend. If you're in Greek life, ask an upperclassman. Or even if you're not in Greek life, if you have a friend who's older, ask, did you have a tutor in this class? Who'd you use? Google it. I mean, something. There is a resource on that campus, and part of why you guys are in college is not just about your GPA. It is to be resourceful, find the answers to questions. Is it easier for me to go on Facebook and ask a bunch of parents? Maybe, but what did I teach you then? That you don't know how to do this? Don't know how to take control of your own GPA? No, that's bullshit. You as the student need to find the tutors on campus. You are not in middle school, and it is very important. So this is my recommendation to the parents on the Facebook groups. Stop doing that. And if you know so much as to the professor's name or the ENG, whatever, the code for the class, like, get a hobby, honestly. Like, it's enough already. And
I don't know any of my
shouldn't
codes
know
for
that.
my classes. That's so weird. I barely know my codes for my classes. And
So
I'm
why
not
does a
taking
parent
them.
know?
Yeah.
Right. It's not good.
Thanks for joining us on the Social Dialogue podcast. If you liked today's conversation, be sure to leave us a 5-star rating and a review and share it with a friend.
Keep the dialogue going with us on social. Find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.
I'm Shane.
And I'm Jenna.
Thanks for listening.